Hey guys, it's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and we woke up this morning to the very first Terminator Dark Fate trailer. I have not watched it yet. I'm going to press play. We're going to find out what is going on in the world of the Terminator. There are a lot of questions that I need answered about this upcoming sequel from Tim Miller. We know that James Cameron is involved. We know that they're bringing back the two classic leads from the Terminator franchise, both Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that from everything that we were told by the cast at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, this is going to be a natural sequel to Terminator 2. It's almost like they're going to go back and pretend that the other sequels didn't happen, which is becoming a very popular thing to do in long-standing franchises where they don't appreciate what happened in subsequent sequels. So this is going to be not a reboot and not quite a restart. We are getting Linda Hamilton back as Sarah Connor, but I don't really know where it fits in the timeline, and I don't know a lot about the new characters. So let's find out together. I'm going to press play on the Terminator Dark Fate trailer, the very first one to drop. You are going to go down and hit subscribe. You're going to turn on your notifications, and every time that we do a very fun reaction video like this, it will drop on CinemaBlend's YouTube page, and you'll be the first one to hear about it. So, come on, let's find out what's going on with the Terminator universe when Tim Miller delivers us Terminator Dark Fate. Please be good, please be good, please be good.
2 days ago, I had this nice, simple life. And now it's a nightmare.
If travel is searching and home has been found.
Ooh, Mackenzie Davis.
I'm not stopping.
Oh, new Terminator. Okay. Oh, a liquid metal Terminator, too. Look at these powers. Okay. Okay.
I'm the hunter.
Look at how badass she looks. Sarah Connor's always armed to the teeth.
Who are you?
My name is Sarah Connor. Never seen one like you before. Almost human.
Alright, I saw that sequence.
I am human.
That's You are human?
Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
Alright. Okay. How do you fit in? What? What?
How do we win?
We win by keeping you alive.
I'm going hunting.
All right. Interesting. All right. Answered a few questions. Raised some new ones. So first off, the return of Linda Hamilton, and she still looks incredible. And it's Sarah Connor, and it does feel similar to the first Terminator in that it's actually 1 and 2. I'm gonna say, in that someone's being hunted by the Terminator, doesn't quite know why they are. In this case, it's Natalia Reyes, who's playing a character named Dani Ramos. And she's going to get assistance. Whereas in T2, they were always hunting Sarah Connor and John Connor. This one, they're hunting this Dani Ramos character played by Natalia Reyes, and we don't know why. So now we know the plot. Essentially, this girl's life is being upended because a Terminator, this one played by Gabriel Luna, who's the newer version of the Terminator, but still that kind of liquid metal-esque type Terminator that were introduced to in T2 is hunting down this character. We're gonna have to find out why. Linda Hamilton knows and is coming to her rescue and is gonna keep her, hopefully, we assume, 1 or 2 steps ahead of the relentless Terminator that will track her down. Of course, now I kind of want to know, like, the backstory of the Dani Reyes character. What is her importance? Usually it's because of the war that's happening in the future. And if we have to assume that Terminator 3, 4, and Genesis didn't happen, then we're still pretty, entrenched in the Skynet and is going to take over, and there's going to be a war in the future, and the Terminators are sending people back to try to stop Sarah and John from an earlier time. But who could this new family or this new gaggle of characters be? That's a really good question. The action looks big. It looks a little CGI-ish. It looks Tim Miller, who leans on practical stunts and really sort of reinvented how superheroes can be done in the Deadpool franchise. In the first Deadpool, has a long time to go before he finishes his special effects. But a couple of those shots, especially the airplane stuff, looks green screenish, but it could get better. Could get better between now and November when the movie opens. Plenty of time. I like that he's thinking on a big palette. I like that he's thinking with epic sort of staging for his action sequences. That's cool. I want to see what they do with that. But I also, I want to care about the characters. I need to know more about Mackenzie Davis, who is clearly a Terminator, or at least a cyborg, but believes that she's human. That's interesting. I want to know where Arnold fits in. There have been rumors that Arnold is going to be playing the guy whose facial recognition or facial design is what inspires the original Terminator, and that he's not actually playing a Terminator in and of itself. And it almost looks that way, because when we see him briefly in the footage, he's just a guy opening up a door. So he could be human. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this film, Terminator Dark Fate, sort of rewrites everything that we knew about the franchise, because it's asking us to essentially forget what we learned in 3, 4, and 5, which is okay. I'm okay with doing that. And I'd rather a continued storyline that goes from 1 to T2 to this new one, if it's able to sort of bridge the narrative gap and explain everything that's happening. I love that, Linda Hamilton is back. I love that James Cameron is contributing to the storyline here and serving as an executive producer. Cameron gets very excited about this stuff. We got to take into the fact that, he also said Terminator Genesis was amazing, and Terminator Genesis was not necessarily amazing. So, grain of salt. But, yeah, this was an intriguing trailer. I think this trailer sort of, lets us know kind of what's coming. I wanted to give a little more Tim Miller flavor. Tim Miller is an amazing action director, and I want to see what he does with Terminators, with, creatures that have, it's really hard to damage them, and it's virtually impossible to stop them. So, there have to be different ways that he's going to come up with, having Linda Hamilton take the Terminators down. I'm sure I want to see how he uses Arnold, and I can't wait to see how the new cast sort of acclimates themselves to the Terminator franchise. But at least now we know that the new Terminator, played by Gabriel Luna, has a lot of elements from Robert Patrick's Terminator in T2, that he's essentially tracking Natalia Reyes' character, Dani Reyes, and now we want to find out why. And we'll see what happens in November. So, this was the very first footage from Terminator Dark Fate. That's my reaction to the trailer. I want to know what you guys thought of the trailer. Are you more excited now for the return of the Terminator franchise? Go down into the comments. Let me know. Yay, nay, positive, negative. What are your thoughts on the state of the Terminator franchise now that we've seen our first official footage to it? And again, of course, while you're down there in the comments, hit subscribe. We're going to be doing reaction videos every time we get a big trailer like this, and we want you to be able to follow along with me and the CinemaBlend team as we continue to post amazing content like this on our YouTube page.